Now, I don't like Christmas, but I just don't like Christmas for adults. That's the only real thing. I love Christmas. I love buying Christmas gifts when it comes to children because there's one simple reason why. Adults can work and buy their own things, but kids, well, they're not really allowed to work, at least anymore. And for an interesting read up on all the forces that cause that to happen, check out these guys' article. I left it in the comments, but some fair warning, there is a bit of controversy, but it is a pretty interesting take on it. And the most important days of a year for a kid are the following. Of course, you have Christmas be at the top, birthday parties being in number 2, close tie for first place, and that's simply because, well, you get gifts on that day. Remember, you're not allowed to work, you're not allowed to make your own living, you're not allowed to even make your own real decisions. So Easter's kind of important because there's a candy hunt. Thanksgiving's important because, well, it's a great meal, and if you ever watched the movie The Other Sister, you would know it's also a special day because, well, you get to have 2 desserts. And there's no other day of the year you're allowed to have 2 different desserts. The amount of indulgence that goes on in the American child's mind, and Thanksgiving is just extremely important. So everybody always loves Thanksgiving. I mean, that's a priority day. But then there's also Halloween. Now, Halloween I consider like a Christmas for other people's kids. So they get to come to your door, beg for treats. Now, if you actually do one of those trunk or treat things, I'm against that. I don't think it's the same. Because I tend to give out good candy. I give out fruit pies, microwave popcorn, and some interesting other things like sodas. And the kids somehow love this. The house that has the different stuff gets remembered. Sometimes I'll give out Little Debbie. This year I'm going to give out some Hug Fruit Barrel juice boxes, and I usually give out full-size candy bars. Yeah, I spoil them. And I mean, there you got whole ranking charts that former kids have come up with, otherwise known as adults, remembering back on their childhood, reminiscing and saying, yeah, I think this candy was better than the others. But none of that really matters all that much, because what we're going to do now is show you a quick game on what to do after Halloween's over, after Trick or Treat's over. We're going to play Candy. It's a game for 4 players. Comes to us from Board Game Geek. It was discovered on there, and there's the simple rules, but we'll go over a quick game. So you're going to need twice as many cards as you have players. So I got 4 players. I have 8 cards. 2 of the cards are going to be known as Puck and Grandma. That's a Jack of Spades, Queen of Hearts. The rest of the ranks you can do whatever you want. Those are irrelevant. So the irrelevant ranks, you have face cards. You have whatever cards you want out of your deck. So this 8-card deck, we're going to shuffle up real good, give everybody 2 cards, and then everybody gets 2 pieces of candy to start the game off with. And what you're trying to do is either the first player to eat 10 pieces of candy is going to win the game, or the player who has eaten the most candy by the end of the game wins. And it's just an interesting way to teach gambling to young children and have them have some actual risk. In this case, their Halloween candy. So however you want to do it, it's up to you. And then you're going to need to leave a bowl of candy in the middle. And each time a player goes, they have 4 different things that they can do, 2 of which are required. The 2 requirements, of course, are to give a piece of candy to a player and exchange 1 card to the player at the end of the turn. Now, a player on the west has decided they're going to hunt for Puck, so they're going to accuse another player of having Puck. And so they're going to accuse north of having Puck. Any day now, they could do that. But in accusing north of having Puck, north is going to show their cards. And they do have Puck, but they also have Grandmother, meaning the game has ended immediately. Nobody's eaten any candy, so the inherent weakness of this game is already apparent. We have a tie, and that's just really unfortunate. Hopefully, maybe we can do better in the future. So I know that example there really showed nothing. So let's go ahead and try again. So now we know where Grandmother is. South is going to guess that West has Puck. They do have Puck, so they have Puck, but not Grandmother. You're going to take the candy, swap hands. Now, if you had Grandmother, you're going to eat the candy. So 2 pieces were eaten. There's 2 pieces remaining. We've given a piece of candy to West, and we've exchanged. We're now going to exchange a card. So everybody's going to go through their turn, give a piece of candy, exchange a card. Now, in the card exchange process, that's where you're going to have fun with the accusing somebody else of having Puck, or just following the simple rules of if you get accused of having Puck but you don't have Puck, or you have Grandmother, you're going to get to do all the things that's on that list. That's the only thing that's really needing to be remembered. You might need to write down on an index card for each player is what actions, the action tree that goes on if somebody has Puck but not Grandma. And so each player will then have to give one player a piece of candy, exchange one card with another player. It doesn't have to be the same player. You could make one player be both the exchange of card and the candy. And as soon as you find Grandmother and Puck, well, your game's over with, and the video ends. We tell you to go to our Discord channel, all that fun stuff, and call all your friends and let them know about this channel. You know, the typical thing we do on these videos. So I want to thank today's musician, and also want to thank today's musician, Unfinished Business. They have a good amount of 25 subscribers, so definitely check out their channel. And I also want to thank our other musician, No Lake. They have 891 subscribers, so definitely give their channels a view. Links in the description, and I hope you have a happy Halloween.